This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com/Psychetruth.
Hi, it's Banks, and welcome to the Banks Method Beginner Pilates Core Program. This class will help us trim down the waistline, flatten out the abdominals, and strengthen the glutes. The Banks Method is my unique combo of ballet, bar, and Pilates exercises designed to maximize lengthening and strengthening of the muscles with fun, dance-inspired movements. You can find all of my workouts on Amazon Prime Video and the Yoga Plus app. You don't need any equipment except for a mat, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with some bridging today. So sit up nice and tall, and we're gonna roll all the way down to the mat through each vertebrae, bone by bone, until you find a flat back. Arms are long. Now scoot those heels a little bit closer to the seat. They're right underneath those sits bones, a few inches away from the glutes. Make sure the kneecaps are right over those ankles. Arms are long, and we're gonna just start peeling the pelvis off the mat. So first we imprint our entire spine down, squeeze the glutes, lift the pelvis, the mid back, the upper back, all the way until you hit the top of that bridge. Squeeze at the top, and then press the rib cage down, the upper back, the mid back, the low back, and then flow back to that neutral spine. Again, peel the pelvis, press the belly button down towards the spine, engage through those abdominals, squeeze the glutes a little bit higher at the top as you keep that rib cage knit together, and then roll it back down. It should feel really nice to get that massage through your low back, through the sacrum as you come back down. Again, we roll all the way up, squeeze the glutes a little bit higher at the top, roll all the way back down, bone by bone. We'll do 4 more like that, really focusing in on each vertebrae, hitting on the way up and the way back down. 3 more, just warming up through the back body as we keep that front body knit in tight, just like you have a corset on in the front. Just 2 more here, and then we'll hold it on the top on our next one. Keep reaching those fingertips long, pressing the palms down into the mat. So you're active through the arms. We're gonna hold it up on the next one. From here, we just lift and lower the heels. So you rise up onto those tippy toes, press over those metatarsals, and then lower back down. So you should feel the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves firing up. 4 more here. Good, we've got 3, 2. Next one, let's hold the heels up. Find a little pulse up an inch, down an inch. Squeeze the glutes and resist to lower down. It's up and down, lift and lower. We got 10 more. Feeling that shake happening through the back of the leg. Just 8 more here, 7. Check in with the core, check in with the rib cage, with the spinal alignment. 4 more. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Roll all the way back down, bone by bone. Now drop the heels down. Hands go behind the head, elbows are wide. So we're gonna take 1 chest lift up. Entire scapula comes off the mat. Space in between your chin and your chest. Back down. Keep the hands behind the head. We roll up into our bridge. Squeeze the glutes. Roll down bone by bone. Find your neutral spine. Exhale, lift. Keep length between your hip bone and your rib cage. Lower back down. Lift it on up. And lower again. We exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more here. Really link that breath to the movement. Exhale. Inhale. Next one, we hold the head, neck, and shoulders up high. We bring that right leg into a tabletop. Now keep the head, neck, and shoulders up high. We twist the left elbow to the right knee. Open up through that chest. Find that right oblique. So it's a little bit higher, and lower it back down. Let's do that again. Left elbow, right knee. We work that right oblique, twist, 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 and lower. Feeling that shake of that entire abdominal wall, especially that right oblique. And lower. So we take it nice and slow so you can feel both shoulders off the mat. You're trying to keep that right knee right where it is, and then ideally bring that left elbow to the knee. Might not actually happen, that's okay. That's what we're working for here. So we don't want to bring the knee into the chest and twist like that. That's not going to work our obliques as much. So we want to keep that knee stacked over the hip. You feel the low abdominals, low obliques working. And then keep that left glute, that left sits bone planted down on the mat. 4 more here. We've got 3. Last 2. Just 1 more, chin away from the chest. Good, and come back center. Lower that leg down, reset in the center, find that neutral spine 1 more time, and then send that left leg into a tabletop. Check in, have you imprinted that spine? Try to find that middle ground. We're not tilting the tailbone up or imprinting it right in the middle. Now keep it there as you twist. 7 more here. For 6, point through those left toes so you're nice and engaged through the calf. 4 more. Big twist, big exhale for 3. Close those eyes, really connect with those oblique muscles. 2, 1. Roll all the way back down, reset in the center. Find that neutral spine. And this time I want you to imprint that spine down into the mat. Keep that imprint as we spin the right leg, then the left leg into a tabletop. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Left elbow, right knee. Reset in the center. Right elbow, left knee. Open up. Twist. So if this is too much and you're feeling that you can't keep that imprint of the spine, then I want you to just lower those feet down and just start here. And then eventually you'll be able to find that open kinetic chain with the feet off the ground. It's a lot more challenging with the feet off the ground. Works the low abdominals. We're really firing up those obliques here. That entire core is engaging. Just 1 more set, you guys. Almost there. 1 more. Twist. And center. Last one, twist, come center, hug those knees into the chest. Nice work. Take a little rock side to side and the other way. And then we'll come all the way up to a seated. So plant the feet down onto the mat. Grab behind those thighs, curl the chin into the chest, roll all the way up. And then we'll sit up nice and tall. We're gonna work those obliques in a seated position. Keep the length in the spine. We hinge back until we feel those abdominals catch just a few inches. And then notice if you're feeling a rounding in the low back. Sit up tall on those sits bones, squeeze through the glutes, and we rotate over to that right side. Come back center, over to that left side, back center, sit all the way up. Again, hinge back, over to the left side first this time. Center, bring that gaze with you. Right side, center, and come back. If you feel good here, interlace those thumbs. We hinge back, and then we row the arms over, making a figure 8. Other side, center, sit up tall, reset. Hinge it back, left side first. It's left, right, center, and up. 2 more sets. Again, if you need that modification, always a great idea to grab behind those thighs to really focus on just finding those obliques, keeping that perfect form. Last set is left, right, center, come all the way up, and then just find a little butterfly stretch. Stretch those arms long just to stretch out those hip flexors, those inner thighs, side body, rock it side to side here. And bone by bone, let's roll it on up. And we'll just swing our legs around. We're gonna work the glutes a little bit more here. So find a quadruped position. Hands right below those shoulders. Soft bend into the elbows. Knees are stacked right underneath those hips, about hip width distance apart. Then pull the navel up towards the spine. Get in nice and tight from here. Place a little bit more weight into your right hand than your left. Bring your right heel to your seat. Squeeze it in tight. We tap the floor. Then drive that foot up to the ceiling. Down, squeeze to lift. So you should feel a shake of the glute at the top. And then check out that knee. Notice if it started to open up, squeeze it in. That makes you activate through the inner part of the glute, through the inner thigh. And then the closer you bring that heel to the seat, the more you can fire up that hamstring. And then your front body is just as important as your back. You're pulling that core in so tight, so we're not lifting from the low back, right? We're lifting from that glute and pulling in the core. Good, now we're gonna lift the leg up, point through the toe, pull the right knee in, make a seeker, drive it all the way out. See if you can get the knee all the way into the forehead, tap it in, squeeze, and press it back. So as you press that leg up to the ceiling, still keep that neutral spine. It's in for 2, and back for 2, in, and back. One more, in, and back. Good, and next one, we hold it in. We bring the right elbow to the left, right. We bring the right knee to the left elbow and we pulse it in, finding that twist for 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that leg out long. Find a pulse up, down for 10. And then we get a stretch after this for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it on down, stretch it out. Walk those fingertips over to the left side of your mat. Sink the hips over to the right. And we'll switch it other direction. And then roll it on up. We'll hit the other side. So come back to all fours. Pull the core in. Send the weight over to the left hand so you can take that pressure off the right glute, put it all into the left, and then extend out that left leg. And then bring that left heel to the seat, tap, and lift. So you're flexing through that left foot, stamping that footprint up towards the ceiling, finding that shaky point at the top. Just 4 more here. Good, we've got 3. Stabilize with that core for 2, a little bit into the elbows. 1, hold it up, point through the toe, pull the knee into the chest. Squeeze dome through those shoulder blades, press the shoulder blades away from one another, and then drive the leg up. In for 2, core, back, squeeze through the left glute. And back for 2. 2 more here, it's in. And back. Last one, hold it in. And then twist, opposite elbow, twist. For 4, 3, 2, extend that left leg out. Pulse it up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7. Point through those toes, find length for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch it out one more time for me. Send those hands over to the right. Sink the hips over to the left. And we'll switch it other direction. Come back center, press into those palms, and then just roll out those wrists. We run those hands for a little bit. And take that roll the other direction. And we'll do a little bit of side lying work to work the outer glutes and those obliques a little bit more. So lay all the way down onto your left side. And then you're gonna just use your bicep as a pillow here. So you lay all the way down, that arm is nice and long, and then pull the knees into the chest at a 90-degree angle. So if you were seen overhead with your torso and your thigh, you're making an L here. And then that top hand just goes onto the mat as a kickstand. Flex through the feet, bring the heels together, toes apart. We lower and open. So you should feel outer thigh working, squeezing the inner thigh as you lower, outer thigh as you lift. Close and open. So those heels are completely connected here. The feet are super flexed to get a little bit more traction on that outer thigh. 4 more. Even though we're laying down here, we're not just lounging on the beach, right? We're pulling our rib cage up, almost like you had a little peephole underneath that bottom oblique. Okay, now we hold that knee up, little pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower that leg on down. Now we do the same thing. The shins come off the mat this time. This works our core just a little bit more here. We open the knees, squeeze to close, maybe getting a little bit more range of motion, but super important. Make sure that top hip stays stacked right over the bottom. The second we start to open that hip up, we're not gonna be working the outer thigh. You're gonna be feeling your hip flexor a lot. So we get a lot of pain in our hip flexors all day. So really make sure that top hip is stacked right over the bottom. I like to imagine there's a skewer going right through my top hip and bottom hip, so they're completely stacked and aligned. 4 more. We've got 3. Feeling that shake in the outer thigh for 2. Get ready, let's hold it up, pulse it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Lower those legs on down, and then we're gonna come up. So in a regular modified side plank, the knees would be right in line with the hips, but this time we're gonna keep the knees forward so we can work the outer thigh and oblique here. So gaze down, that elbow's right below the shoulder. Make sure it's not too far out or too close in, right in that happy place. Flex those feet. We lift the hips up, and then we lower back down, squeezing that bottom oblique, keeping those shoulders stacked, hips stacked. Lift and lower. Good, just 4 more here. Keep pressing that shoulder down the back for 3. Last, you keep that gaze right in front of you. Next one, we're gonna hold it up. We open that top knee and close it down for 10. If that's too much, you can just stay down on that hip. If you want the added challenge for the obliques, 4 more, just 3. Good, 2. Last one, lower it all the way back down. Nice job. Let's switch it over to the other side. So coming all the way down, using that right arm as a pillow, pull those knees into the chest, flex those feet, and let's open and close. Again, make sure you're not opening that top hip. You're rotating the femur bone in the hip socket, and that allows you to really activate through your outer thigh. I like to reach around and feel what muscles I'm using here. It makes me activate just a little bit more when I feel that outer thigh shaking. Getting a little tactile cue here, hand on the hip. Squeezing 4 more. We've got 3. Good, check in with that bottom oblique. 2. Hold it up, pulse it for 10, 9. Squeeze a little bit tighter for 8, 7, 6. Pull the knee up to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's lower it back down. Shins come off the mat. That bottom knee stays on, and we just open and close, keeping those heels glued together so when they come apart, you don't feel that outer thigh as much. When they stay together, you get that squeeze of the heels, and then squeeze the inner thighs as you close. 4 more. 3. Last 2. Hold it up, pulse it for 10. We're almost done. 9. Close the eyes, go to that happy place. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way down. Come up to that forearm. Let's hit that modified side plank. We lift the hips up and down. You should feel that bottom oblique, that side body, and down. Lift, resist to lower. Try not to crash down. You really want to control it on the way up and the way back down, feeling a squeeze of the glutes at the top. 3 more here. Last 2. Get ready, let's hold it up. Find that clamshell. We open and close. Open and close. Just 4 more here. Lift a little bit higher. 3, 2. Hold it open and lower it all the way back down. And we're gonna do 1 more modified plank to really fire up our entire abdominal wall. So bring the forearms down parallel to one another and then walk both knees back. So you find a diagonal line, tuck the tailbone under, pull the core in tight, and then hold this modified side plank. Breathing, exhaling to pull the core in. Make sure you're not dumping in that low back. If If you want a little bit more here, tuck the left toes under, send the left knee off the mat, and then tuck the right toes under, keeping that exact same alignment with the spine. We're just here for 10 long seconds. For 9, exhale, 8, 7, shift the weight onto the toes for 6, 5, almost there, 4, 3, 2, lower all the way down. We're gonna work the glutes here. So bring the heels a little bit wider than the hips. You want the heels in, toes out, so you're externally rotated, really engaging through the glutes, pressing the pelvis down. At the same time, you pull the core up and away from that mat. So I like to imagine I have a little grape underneath my belly button. I'm trying to protect that grape, so I'm pulling my core in so tight. From here, we're gonna just bend through that right knee, bringing the right heel to the seat, and then pressing it out. So you should feel the hamstring and glute activating and pressing it out. As you do that, think about pulling that core in tight the whole time. So you're taking that tension out of the low back, working the glutes, and then we are working our postural muscles here. So the back muscles are working to engage through the back of the leg. Let's do 2 more here. It's right leg and then left leg. Good, now hold both legs straight, reset that core. Right leg stays straight and then lower it back down. Left leg stays straight. Just a little lift and lower. Squeezing through the glutes, feeling that extension, really pointing through those toes. Calves are engaged, and then quadriceps are pulling up and away from the kneecaps. So the entire leg is engaged here, and really lengthen to create those long, lean muscles through the hamstrings and the glutes. Left leg and right. 2 more, it's left and right. Last set, left and right. Good, now lower both legs down, roll the shoulders down the back. Last exercise we're gonna do, we lift both legs, we lower both legs. If this feels like too much and you're crunching in that low back, just keep alternating. We've got just 8 sets of lifting and lowering. After this, we're gonna stretch out that low back. Press the pelvis down, feel length in the spine. Maybe it's only 1 inch, that's okay. Lift and lower. Just 5 more here. We've got 4. Last 3. Relax through the shoulders, 2. And 1. Press into the palm. Sink the hips down and back. Really important after you do all that extension work into the back to stretch it out. And then bring the arms around, grab on for the heels. Tug the chin into the chest. And let's scoop the abdominals as we roll all the way up. C-curve, doming through those shoulder blades. And lift up through the chest. So we're gonna do another exercise, this time for the outer part of the glutes on all 4s. So a little bend into the elbows. We're gonna work the left leg first. So shift the weight into the left hand. We open the left leg out and then we press it. We resist to come back in. So coming up and back in. So a lot of the time we do these fire hydrants really quickly and we're just swinging that leg out and in, not really activating through the outer thigh. Really important here, we wanna keep the hips still. So the core is in tight. You resist on the way up and then slowly with control, we lower it back down. 4 more here. We've got 3, 2. Next one, we hold it up and then we bring the leg back. Now the knee is behind the hip. From here, we bring it parallel. We externally rotate, feeling that outer thigh. We've got 10 of these and then we're gonna hit that other side. So you're just tracing a diagonal line with the knee, feeling the outer thigh firing up. Bring that heel close to the seat and point through that toe. Constant reminder to pull that core in. Just 5 more here, and then we hold it at the top for 4, 3, last 2. Now hold it open on the next one, squeeze a little bit tighter, keep that knee and ankle parallel, And then let's release it down. Take a second, roll out those wrists before we hit that other side. And let's do that fire hydrant on the right side. So knees hip width distance apart. We open and close. Outer thigh and resist to lower down. Weight goes into that right hand a little bit more than the left. Gaze stays down. 4 more here. We've got 3, 2, get ready, let's hold it up. And then drive that right heel back. So you're wrapping it around. Pull the core in. We bring it parallel. We externally rotate. Just 5 more here. Last 4. Keep that heel into the seat. 3. Just 2. Next one, let's hold that knee and ankle parallel. Lift a little bit higher for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. And then let's roll it on up. We're gonna finish off with a little bit of abdominal flat back work. So plant those feet down onto the mat, and then we roll all the way back down. And then once you reach the bottom, pull the knees in towards the chest. From here, we're gonna extend the left leg out to 45 degrees and then switch it to the other side. So light grip on top of the shin, the leg goes out to 45. We keep our whole spine pressing down on the mat, imprinted spine here to protect that low back. Okay, now, if you feel good, bring the hands behind the head. Inhale to prepare. We exhale, lift in the center. We've got 4 here, 3, last 2. Now let's take it into our Pilates crisscross. Opposite elbow to knee, so right elbow goes to left knee, come center, switch it other side. If you want, you can reset those obliques in the center and then come right back in it. And switch. And switch. Almost there, you guys. Final 4. We've got 4. Elbows wide for 3. Big twist for 2. Here it is, last 1. And lower it all the way back down. Hug those knees into the chest. And then we're gonna plant our feet a little bit wider than our hips. Heels are in, toes are out. We're gonna finish off with some more bridging. This time, rather than articulating up and down, we're gonna hinge up. So the whole spine stays as one unit. I like to imagine I have a pole where my spine is and there's no movement up and down. It's just as a straight line, your spine goes up and back down. So I'll show you guys first. From here, we squeeze the glutes, keep the core in tight. We lift up. And then you hinge at the hips, glutes hover over the mat to lower, lift, and lower. So I'm on my heels to feel that connection a little bit more through my glutes and my hamstrings, lifting and lowering. So you wanna think pelvis is the highest point, not the rib cage here. Keep it all knit in, lift and lower. We got 10 more here, and then we're gonna hold it at the top for 9. Just 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it at the top, squeeze a little bit tighter, drive those heels in the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Roll it back down. Awesome. We're gonna take a little butterfly stretch here. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide, just to stretch out through the front of the hips. And then slowly pull the knees in. We'll just windshield wiper those knees from one side to the other, just to stretch out through the spine, through the hip flexor as the knee internally rotates here. And then come back through to the center, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, flex through the right foot, and then just press that right knee open with the outer thigh. If you want a little bit more, pull the left knee into the chest, grab behind the left hamstring, And then easily pull in, feel stretch through the outer thigh of your right leg. And then we'll switch it other side. The left ankle crosses over the right, pull behind that right hamstring. Feeling that waistline nice and long. And then come back center. Extend that left leg long. And then extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Stretch through that hamstring. You can grab for that hamstring or for the calf if that's available to you, but just make sure the hips are nice and level. So we're not hiking up through one hip. You want to feel the waistline lengthening as the back of the leg lengthens. And then slowly, let's switch it over to the other side. Flexing through the left foot. Left hip stays down. And let's bring it all the way back in. And we'll come back up to a seated position, tucking the chin into the chest, and then plant the feet down onto the mat. Cross that right ankle over the left thigh, and then take a spinal twist, pressing the left arm into the right thigh and gaze back behind you, opening up through that chest, getting that nice spinal twist to create more mobility in that spine. And then we'll take it the other direction. Really important to find twists through the spine because all day we walk front and back. In our sagittal plane, we move side to side, but we don't get as much twist. It's really good to twist through that spine, open up through the chest. And we'll come back center. We'll take one more forward fold to stretch out through the hamstrings. Little micro bend into the elbows. Press the palms up to the ceiling. And then stretch it forward, letting that head hang heavy. If you want a little bit more in the stretch and you can keep that spine straight, slowly start to straighten out those legs. Lengthen out through the spine and then fold forward one more time. Slowly and carefully, let's roll it on up. Great job today. I hope you enjoyed this workout. I recommend doing it every day and then mixing in some of my other Pilates mat videos so you can feel really confident in these foundational Pilates mat exercises. And I'll see you again soon.
Many of our subscribers don't see our videos. Make sure that you click the notification bell. And if you haven't already, follow us on social media for tips, tutorials, giveaways, and daily inspiration.